Hey, we are back here with Kaylee, founder of Paired Up and Social Media Extraordinaire. I'm Kara. I'm going to be help the chat continue to move on, and I'm also doing it in the graphics. I'm the graphics girl. That'll be my nickname.
You're doing a greght job.
Thank you. Didn't even have to go to college for this. I love it. The graphics girl. I'm excited to talk about this because when Meta is offering up free information, that means something. And so today we're going to be talking about ads. And I think a big reason that they're looking at these ads, Kaylee, is because we're seeing a lot of ad dollars shift to social.
Mm-hmm.
And Meta wants they want that money, so they want to help them.
Yeah, I mean, and again, as I say to any client that we have, Facebook wants you to do well because they want you to continue to give money. So they're going to help you in any way that they can, whether it's tips, whether it's classes you can take, whether it's helping within the ad process. We're optimizing it. A lot of the times you can, when you're running an ad, Facebook will optimize for the individual viewer itself to help you, get the best bang for your buck. So what happened was Meta partnered with an analytic research, I think it was Analytic Partners, and looked over 70 different campaigns at 500 ads to kind of see what worked and what didn't work. And overwhelming, which I've been saying and we've been saying over and over again, video. So video ads are a slam dunk. Like, you want to be doing video ads. I mean, the return on investment, you can read it right there, is 5 times higher with also your brand in it. So, you'll notice that, some ads, are like a lifestyle ad, which you want to do, but the actual brand itself doesn't show up for a minute. What they're saying is your brand, what you're selling, and your logo need to show up within the first 2 seconds. And you could see over 5 times higher return on investment when your brand is in there right at the beginning. So a lot of the times when we run our ads, whether we're having a video or not, the logo is on that ad for the entirety of the ad. And there's a reason for that, so that at least we're consistent to where then when somebody sees that logo again, then they remember, oh, I've seen this before. And so then your brand starts to be remembered. And that's a huge tip when running ads. Also, your return on investment was 2.3 times higher when the product appeared in the first 2 seconds, which I just said. So the logo and the product itself both are really important, and you want it to be the primary focus. But it's important that when you do that you don't make it too selly. Okay, so they need to show up in the ad, but it doesn't need to be like an ad where your product is like, hey, buy this or buy that. You want to make it, more of an entertaining ad, very much like any post you would put in your timeline. You don't want somebody to know it's an ad, but your product still needs to be in there. So that's going to be kind of a tip there. All right.
It's there, but it's not the primary. It's like.
Exactly.
Okay.
Also, this is a big one, that you want to make sure you're optimizing. And a lot of people are like, what does that even mean? Okay. So when you go into running a Facebook ad, so you go to Ads Manager, you go to create, you go through the ad set, you pick how much money you're going to buy, you finally get to the ad creative, and you can kind of customize what you want that ad to look like in whether it's the Facebook feed, stories, Instagram, all of that. You want to optimize it so that each platform, the creative looks good. Because if that's the case, the return on investment is going to be higher. And you want it to also be optimized for mobile. And they give you options to kind of preview that when you're creating the ad. So you want to make sure you really look at that and that they look good and it looks, like something somebody would stop and look at when you're creating those ads. Also something that, Kara does really, really well. And it's the sound off, we've talked about it, you and I, multiple times where, a lot of the times I look at videos and I don't even turn the sound on. I'm sitting, getting my nails done or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if you have, any kind of caption, subtitles, you want to have those on there so that you can still capture the attention and still get your point across with the ad, but you don't have to have that sound on for them to get what you're trying to do. And, one thing that Facebook advertising allows you to do is allows you to put other languages as captions. So you can add like a primary language, but then you can also translate it to a different language. So let's say your target audience is also Spanish speaking language. You can put on there where there's the translation into Spanish, and it will show up on your ad. So that's really important to do and utilize that Facebook tool that they allow you to do when you're creating the ad.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay, that's really important because I know that we specifically have clients that are targeting specific audiences, in the Hispanic community. Okay, good to know. Yeah. Okay, and this next one up here that I found, enabling additional placements. So I think that these kind of overarch each other. What does that specifically mean?
So it's kind of like the last, optimizing it for the different viewing experiences. So what you'll see when you go in to create the ad creative is that off to the side, there'll be a preview screen where it shows you the 8 different placements. So Facebook's showing you, okay, here's where they'll be placed. This is what it will look like. And you can go into each individual placement and you can kind of customize what it looks like. So for example, let's say you have it as a Facebook ad and it's, it's a horizontal. And then you see that the placement there in Facebook Reels or Instagram Reels is the vertical. And so your ad looks really disjointed and cuts off half of your message. So you want to make sure that each placement looks good for where it's going to be going out. So that's kind of what that means, is making sure that you utilize those. Because there's a lot of times you'll create an ad and it'll have an error, but it'll still let you publish the ad. But if there's an error there, that just means you're going to lose money there. So you want to make sure that you're not going to be able to make it perfect, but you want to make sure it's optimized to the best viewing experience as possible.
That's a good way to put it. Best viewing experience. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So one of the things, and this kind of goes with this screen here, when you're running an ad, I want to give one tip to you, if you can take away from this at all, and you're trying to run your own ads, is allow your ad time to grow. So the first couple days, as I was telling Kara when we were talking about this, is Facebook has a learning time frame where your ad's in the learning phase. So Facebook is learning what your ad's about, who it should go to, how to best utilize your budget to get the most return on investment. So that may you want to get out of the learning phase as quickly as possible, but that's kind of out of your control other than the way you create your ad. So once you get out of the learning phase and it starts to run, you may not see a lot of, you may not see a lot happening in the first couple of days, and you think, okay, this ad isn't working. I try and I suggest to my clients to allow the ad to live for at least 2 weeks before you make any decisions on whether the ad is working or it's not, because you want to make sure that it's out there and that Facebook is learning it, and that you give it time to breathe before you decide whether it's a flop or not.
And I'm guessing that's just based on experience that you've had. You've seen that 2 weeks is kind of like a magic number.
Yeah. And there are ads that I run for 4 weeks at a time, because the longer the ad's running, the more people are going to see it in the feed. Some of the ads that we run, I see them in my feed over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what you want. So the longer that ad is running and you're seeing that same creative and you're seeing that same message, the better chance that someone's going to be reminded they've already seen it and then actually pull the trigger on your call to action. Because
you've said this before, but how many times does someone need to see an ad before they take action on average?
At least 7 average.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense.
Well, think about it. Like, you're sitting there and you're on your phone, you're like, oh, that's cool. And then all of a sudden you get, like for me, my daughter, oh, I have to go. I have to set down my phone. I have to go do something for my daughter. Okay, there you go. Missed opportunity, right? But that's why you want to show us again, because then I may be in a place where I can do it. Or I remember, oh yeah, that's awesome. And I keep clicking. And then the next time it shows up, I say, oh yeah, yep, I wanted to buy this dress, or I wanted to give to this nonprofit, or I wanted to, and then I actually click the button.
No, absolutely. I want to click on this one last before we wrap up here. Just talking about an average weekly frequency. And I guess this kind of goes into what you were saying about seeing it more often.
Yep. So, 1 and 1.5, the average weekly frequency, you're going to get the highest return on investment. So, that's what they've learned. And that's what I've learned. That kind of matches up with a lot of our testing, is that, you got to be out there. You've got to have ads running. You've got to have testing. And then you've got to, if you're doing it right, you should be running multiple ads at one time with a very similar message. So, you may have a video that runs with a couple of different types of captions that say essentially the same thing, but they're different with different, headlines and different, words that capture. So that's kind of where you can show up in the feed more frequently.
Let me ask you one last question. If you're a business and you're watching today and you're going, I've never done Facebook ads, how often should you be running Facebook ads then? If you're
It's
selling,
all up to how much you have in the budget, but you should be running Facebook ads consistently. You should be in the space consistently. As I was talking, I don't know if I said it in this video, if it was a video before, or if it was just us talking, but we have a client page of about 54 followers, but their reach with Facebook ads is consistently over 100,000, because we're running Facebook ads consistently for them and getting their brand out there. So even though, you might say, hey, our follower count is pretty low right now. As long as you're consistently growing, that's great. You're doing it right. But then if you add Facebook ads to it, the limit isn't at how many followers you have. There is no limit. The cap is off. So you can reach as many people as possible. So Facebook ads, you need to be running consistently. And if you don't know where to start, we run Facebook ads. You can contact us. We also help manage your platforms, and we also offer workshops. So if you want to just learn and get, templates of, what's worked for us, what's worked for our clients, and kind of get yourself started and how to do it, and as simple as possible, we offer that as well. So you can go to pairedupsocial.com and you can send us an email, and we're happy to see, what's best for you, what's best for your brand, and get you rocking and rolling, because 2023 is going to be important that you're on Facebook ads and that you're utilizing them. And when we say Facebook ads, that also runs through Instagram or any Meta product.
Okay, well, happy ad buying. Thanks, Kaylee.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.